Good day, everyone. I am Mark, your fat friend,
And I'm James, your black friend,
and this is the Fat and Black Connection.
where we talk about anything and everything. Well, of course, as long as it's interesting to us.
Absolutely. And, this is a live interactive broadcast. Today is March 1st, 2022. We are here to service you. No,
But,
that's not true because we talk about what we want. So,
bruh,
yeah,
it's weird. We're 2 months in already?
2 completed months. We are now in the third month of the year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Bruh. All right. Well, hey, we here.
Yes, we're here. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Daily Motion. You can find us just about anywhere. If there's something where you're not finding us, let us know. If you're listening to this after the fact via podcast, you're probably listening on Anchor or
Spotify or
Spotify,
Apple Podcasts or
Google
some
Podcast, Breaker.
wherever. Just make sure that when you're on those, you subscribe and get thumbs up or whatever you do to let people know that you're let those people know you're liking it.
Yes, and please, the one thing that we do ask is that you definitely go over to YouTube and subscribe because we need to get our subscriptions up there. We need to get up to 100. We're nowhere close. So if everybody that listens or watches this would just go over to our YouTube page and click subscribe, I promise you're not going to get bombarded with stuff. We don't post a whole lot of stuff aside from our live episodes here, and then occasionally we'll do something on the side. But we just want to get our subscriptions up. But ultimately, this is live and interactive. So anywhere that you're watching us right now, if you see in the chat box, type in, say hi, tell us what you think of the show, tell us what you think of us. Or if you're listening to this after the fact, please go to one of our pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and throw some shade that way.
I want your shade. I'll take it though. But at the same, also, just let us know if there's something that you want to talk about, and if it falls in line with what we want to talk about, we probably talk about it. So
yeah, because and good morning, Debbie. Thank you for checking.
Howdy.
I will tell you today for today's episode, we don't have a whole lot planned.
Nah.
We're just kind of gonna fly off the cuff here and see where the day takes us. It's 10:05. We've got to fill another 55 minutes of content, James. So
yeah. Hey,
and I don't have a beer this morning.
Oh,
so
what is
that
going
there
on?
goes a couple of minutes. I've been watching. I don't know if you've been watching, but there are a lot of people out in our society and in the world actually right now that are finding different ways to try and have their own personal protest against the Russians. So the last time we met and talked, Russia had just began their advance into Ukraine, and here we are about a week later, and they are just outside of Kyiv, which is formerly known as Kiev. I'm a little confused, and we could talk about that.
Is it just because of the way it's spelled and the way it's said?
The way it's spelled has changed. Growing up and up until this whole encounter happened, I was brought up and taught that it's Kiev. Now all of a sudden it's Kyiv. So I don't know what's happened there.
I don't know if I've ever really just
How were you brought up? Was it Kiev or was it Kyiv for you?
I've heard Kiev, and I agree with you. Recently, it was Kyiv, but I also never really looked up the spelling, so I was just like,
yeah, the spelling has changed as well. So there used to be a Y in Kiev, and there doesn't appear to be a Y anymore. So,
Are you sure? Are you sure that you just didn't imagine that?
There is
just like the Berenstein Bears thing.
The Mandela effect, right?
Yeah.
That could be the case. I could be from a completely different universe and I've somehow slid over here with y'all. I'm not quite sure, but I am fairly certain growing up it was Kiev. So if there's anybody out there listening, watching right now, let us know.
I always remember. I remember hearing it said Kiev. I never, like I said, I remember hearing it as Kiev. I don't know if I didn't look at the spelling. I didn't look at any of that stuff. So like all I really have to go off of spelling is what's been going on recently.
Sure. So, getting back on point, people have been trying to find their own personal way of protesting the Russians, and by no means, I have no qualms with people of Russian descent or Russians that
Live
have nothing to
outside
do
of
with this.
Russia.
No, even Russians in Russia, because there's a lot of them that don't agree with or support what's going on right now.
Right.
So
They've been getting arrested.
And the military people, I feel bad for them because it sounds like there's even folks in the Russian military that disagree with what they're doing, but you have to follow orders,
Yeah.
or else you become a deserter or whatever, and then you're executed, right? So
Right.
I don't know, but my point being that there are bars all over the US and Canada that I've seen different videos coming out where these bar owners are just taking all of their Russian vodka off the shelves and like pouring it out. And
Oh.
there are stores that are not selling Russian vodka or other Russian made alcohols. So while I may not have a beer this morning, this will be our alcohol conversation to start the show.
Honestly, I don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess pouring it out, but I'm never for alcohol abuse in that way. But no, I have zero problem with them pulling the Russian vodkas because I mean, the main thing is, I mean, yeah, you already bought it, but at the same time, you're not going to sell it. Therefore, you probably won't buy it again, and that's gonna. I mean, and that's again that when the pocketbook starts hurting, you start rethinking some things.
Hopefully, and I don't know if you saw, but just announced today, Disney, Universal, and Sony have announced that they will not release any new films in Russia.
Oh,
So
yikes!
there have been the sanctions, obviously, by the U.S. and other countries around the world that are affecting Russia. I think we could be doing a better job. There are a lot of ways that we could be sanctioning them that could hit them a lot harder, a lot faster. The ruble, the Russian currency, for the first time in a very long time, has actually fallen under 1 penny. It is
Jeepers.
one ruble is equivalent to less than a penny.
What?
Yeah. So, I mean, to be fair, just before this incursion happened, it was only valued at around 1.4 cents.
I mean,
But
still.
still, I mean, it's almost lost half its value since this has started. So, I don't know if you've been keeping up. It's scary times, man.
No, I mean, I've been watching some stuff, man, but yeah, no, it's tough. It's tough.
Putin's nutty, man. He has put his commanders on special heightened alert for the potential use of nuclear weapons. So,
come on, bro.
Which makes no sense because there has been no actions based that I can see from any other country that would need to rise it to that level.
It would warrant nuclear. Come on, bro. Like, come on. I don't know.
I think he's realized that he's 5 days in, 6 days into this thing, and
is this a pride hurting thing?
I think so. I think he fully expected to walk in and this be done in 2 or 3 days. And there were a lot of
Putin laying down front. No, bro, come on now.
There were a lot of analysts that said that Kyiv would likely fall within 3 days, and it hasn't.
But I think it's also because those people are. I was watching some videos, and those guys are busting out. They had they had one guy. He had Molotov cocktails, like just straight up Molotov in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, the reporters asked him, "You make these?" He's like, "No, the people over there made them." Like, and
I'm
it's
just
like
the one throwing them.
It's like an apartment building,
mm-hmm.
and it's like these people are like making this stuff at home
Giving up
and
their alcohol. Yep.
giving it to these guys. Get these dudes.
Yeah.
And
No.
like
I mean,
one guy was one like these people are a lot of them. Oh no, not all, a lot of them. I can't say that. But one guy, he was working in an office building, and he was just like, nah. I don't know how to use a weapon. I've never been in the military. I was an office worker, but now I'm fighting for my country. And so he's been out there on the front lines. He had, like, literally until a couple days ago never shot a gun.
yeah. I mean,
And so like these are normal. I mean, some of them normal everyday people who are fighting for their homes, fighting for their homeland, and they want to keep democracy. And that's bottom line to me, man. Like it's like I can't say anything against those people because they're, I mean, the balls on these guys. And the president out there, I mean, who was an actor. The guy was an actor who got voted in, and he is now like he's out there with these guys, showing them support. He's not leaving. He did a video of them. They're standing their ground. It's crazy to me.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but it was reported a day or two ago that there was a guy who even, in essence, blew himself up to blow up a bridge to prevent tanks from getting closer.
Wow.
You know, it's crazy. I mean, there are people. I just was reading an article this morning. There are people from the U.S. and Canada that are going to fight in Ukraine to help and assist them. And these are U.S. citizens. These aren't people that are Ukrainians that have come here. These are people that are like, this has got. There's got to be a line, and they're willing to go put their own lives on the line to help these people.
And they're not military or anything. They're just
Nope. They
wow.
just they see injustice, and it could be seen both ways, right? Like
That's
you're
superhero status, I think, or at least in my opinion.
but that's what I'm saying, right? Is it superhero or is it delusional, right? I mean,
I mean, it could be, but I don't know. Standing up for something. I mean, if you believe in it that strongly,
sure, absolutely. If there were coming here, I don't know. I don't know what I would do, but at the end of the day, it's scary times. It's scary times.
truly is. I mean, it's just it's. I just don't understand how you how you send those Capitol riot folks. Wow. Yeah. Um. But yeah, no. I mean, it's crazy how he just was like, yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and do this, and it's just like, what? Like how? What? And then just oh, we're gonna denazify Ukraine. Like, bro, there's the leaders and are Jewish. Like, how are they Nazis? I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know.
I don't either. But we'll see. I mean, we're a week into this thing, and there were supposedly already talks yesterday between some Ukrainian officials and Russian officials.
Yeah,
It doesn't seem like there was any ground really made because it's still ongoing.
it doesn't say, it didn't really say anything, but I'm
I
saying like,
know that this morning there was a General Assembly of the United Nations called emergency meeting.
oh wow,
And I was watching some of it, different countries making their speeches in opposition. There was also a meeting at the UN over in Europe. And when the Russian ambassador started to speak, there was a mass walkout.
oh, wow.
So I think, 90+% of the world does not support what is going on here. I mean, there are a couple of countries that I wouldn't say they've given their full throated support, but they're not necessarily doing anything to try and stop this. And Switzerland,
Yeah,
neutral Switzerland, for the first time
has given they gave anti-tank missiles to the Ukrainians.
They have chosen a side. They're not neutral in this thing.
They're not no heads in the sand here, people.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. If Switzerland's picking a side, that maybe you should really look at this.
Yeah, Yeah, it's Switzerland, who is historically just been like, nah, we're cool.
I
We're,
even read
weren't
that
even
the
peace treaties signed. Weren't like peace treaties being signed in Switzerland and stuff like that because
they have
they
been,
did.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, because they haven't had. We don't have no skin in this game, people.
The Pope even went to speak to Russian ambassadors this week to try and voice that, you know, point of
The
view.
Pope.
And
The
the
Pope.
Pope, yes, the Catholic,
Whoa.
and the Catholic Pope, he's in disrepair. He's in bad shape. He's not even, from what I've heard, he's not even going to make it to Ash Wednesday services coming up tomorrow.
What happened to
So
him?
uh, I can't remember. I read something. He's in quite a bit of pain, and I mean, dude's like 85, so he's
Huh.
getting up there. But he even went out of his way to go to the Russian officials and ambassadors to try and do what he could.
I'm in pain, but I need this done.
Right, right. And for those of you keeping track, tomorrow is Ash Wednesday. What does that
Oh,
mean today is?
Fat Tuesday. Beep
That's
beep
right.
beep.
Meow, meow, meow. That's right, Fat Tuesday. So
Oh wait,
get your eating, drinking, partying in today, so that
get get your beads.
you can go get your ashes tomorrow and repent for your sins, and if you're Catholic, of
If you're
course.
Catholic, yeah.
But yeah. So also that means that tomorrow starts the 40 days of Lent.
Oh.
So what are you going to give up, James? You giving up anything for Lent?
Man, good thing I ain't Catholic.
Fair enough. I guess that means nothing. It's
Uh,
not necessarily just a Catholic thing. I mean,
oh no, I understand. I definitely understand why. I mean, I don't know what I don't know what I'd give up. I just don't know. I've never, and actually, I guess if I thought about it, then yeah. Oh, hey, all you restaurants, get your fish ready.
absolutely, absolutely. So something that I wanted to talk about is a person I know from back in the day when I was in the Bay Area.
Back in
Um,
the days.
her name is Dana Lee, and she has written a book that just
Ooh.
recently, and by recently I mean today, has come out, and
Oh,
it dropped today. It's called the Vermilion Riddle. Um, I was fortunate enough to get an advanced copy to read, and I did,
yeah,
and
yeah.
uh, it's entertaining. It is world building. It is, so. This is the first book in a series. I believe. I get the impression that this is going to be building up to more. And it's a really interesting concept. So I'm going to read the synopsis really quickly. So the war between fairies and men, dimmed into mythology long ago, contained in the pages of Leah's book. Far from danger, her sheltered town runs on parties and gossip. Then, August Fox purchases the haunted manor in Carmel, and legends begin breaking into her reality. When her father gambles away their livelihood, Leah dutifully accepts August's request for her hand. But a shadow haunts Karath, his home of towering edifices and warriors, and she must contend with the ghosts of his family's past. Hungry to conquer the immortal realm, Nimrod betrayed the Guardians and stole an ancient riddle that would guide him to the keys to Fairy. To his followers' surprise, he names Benedict Fox his second in command. Benedict plays a dangerous game, his agenda diverging from Nimrod's. As they uncover more Guardian secrets, Benedict finds himself hurtling towards a choice between saving his family and settling a personal vendetta. The war is never really over, and this time the battle lines cut through blood ties and brotherhood. So
Hmm.
again, this is a world building book. I mean, it's in the very beginning, as you open the pages, there's a map that kind of lays out the land. Um,
Okay, I like
there's
that.
There's a breakdown of how their calendar works. Um, there's a
That's
lot.
before you even get into the story.
Yes. So
That's
it,
legitimate.
yeah,
That's legitimate.
I put this on par with like Tolkien in regards to like world building. Um,
Yeah.
so it it's really good. I
This is no Isla Nublar. This is a world. Its
yeah,
own world, not an
yeah.
island.
Yeah, we're not we're not getting paid to endorse this in any way, shape, or form. Um, I was like I said, given an advance copy. I read through it. I really enjoyed it, and
It's
so
a friend.
that's why we're talking about it here. Not because I have to, but because
I
I'm
want to.
choosing to.
Yeah, and it's something that interests us.
Absolutely. So please,
Especially when you know somebody too. That's also pretty dope.
yeah, exactly. So if you're interested in an interesting read, and if you like fantasy,
Yeah.
if you like books like by Tolkien, like The Hobbit, if you like uh, what's that show that was really popular, wildly popular, that was on HBO and written by
Uh,
what's his name? You know the one I'm talking about, right?
oh, you
With
mean
with the
you're talking about
wizards and
Game of Thrones?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If you like Game of Thrones, if you like
J.R.R. Tolkien
Martin.
Martin. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, not
Uh,
Tolkien.
thank you, Steven. Thank you, Tyrus. Game of Thrones. Sorry, it was there. I just couldn't get it to come out.
You know that thing with the wizard,
The wizards and the dragons
the
and
dragons. Yeah,
yes. So, anyways, if you want an interesting read, I know there are hardbound copies, but you can also get it on Amazon and lots of other places digitally if you prefer that format. So it dropped today, so go check it out. James, I know you haven't read it,
yeah.
but I would say go read it.
Give it a read through, huh?
Yeah, why not?
Cool.
So we were talking about earlier Billy Joel
Yeah.
because James and I we both love Billy Joel. One of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life. Easily top two, if not number one. And the reason we were talking about it is because I didn't know, but I just saw Billy Joel was in Vegas, which is
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know, that's where James is located.
This guy.
And if I had known that Billy Joel was coming to town, I probably would have gone out of my way to head down there to go see him, especially at a Alliance Stadium,
Allegiant.
Allegiant Stadium. They screwed up royally last time I was in town. And for those of you that don't recall the story of when
Go
James
watch
and I
her
went,
wrestle. Just
when
go
we
watch
went,
her what was that? SummerSlam video.
yeah, yes, when we went to SummerSlam last year at Allegiant Stadium, it didn't go so well. But
Also, I mean, to give them credit, the stadium was still like new. They hadn't had, I think that was like the first, not the first big event, but it's like among the first big events that they had there. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, so we were talking about Billy Joel, and I went back and I was like reading through the set list of when I saw him back in 2007, compared to the set list that he did while he was just in Vegas. And yeah, I'm sad I missed that. I blame you, James. You're down there. You're supposed to let me know when this kind of stuff is happening.
Sorry. And you should be more aware of superstars that you like.
I'm sorry. Do you not like Billy Joel? I thought you liked him.
No, I do. I saw him. I saw the. I like. Listen, the thing is, I saw the thing on the side of the building, and I was like, "Ooh!" And then I went to go look at ticket prices, and I was like, "No."
All right. Well,
Just because, I mean, like, hope. Well, you know what? We're supposed to go. I do need to check what his in Madison Square Garden because we're supposed to go to New York, and I know he's been doing those shows pretty regularly. So maybe just keep my eye on that.
When are you going to New York?
Possibly spring, so coming soon. So
I was gonna say spring is, in
like now.
like a
So
couple weeks from now.
because we were talking about going, this month, but it's still pretty cold apparently.
And Tyrus just made a great point about Allegiant Stadium. They have no excuse. WrestleMania went well when Levi's was still new, and that's true.
But they had like a full football season by that time, and
No, they hadn't. They hadn't played their first season in that stadium yet.
I thought they did.
No, there had only been like one major concert in that stadium at that point.
Well, never mind.
So,
but also, I think one of the big things was Levi was not card only.
That's true, but even more to that point, if that's the choice you're making, you should be better prepared.
Exactly. And like, I don't know, like everything was going fine at the beginning, and then all of a sudden, like about, I think it wasn't even halfway through, the system crashed, and they weren't able to get it back up.
I don't know, but
I don't know.
Either way,
back to Billy Joel.
Back to Billy Joel. So great concert. If you ever have the chance and you like his music, go see him. He puts on a hell of a show. Generally around 25 songs, usually around 3 hours. So James, guess what's coming up next week?
Let's see. We don't have any birthdays. We don't have any. Oh, I think I know.
Next week is our 1 year anniversary of doing this show.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we've been doing this thing for a year almost, and
only missed a couple weeks.
Yeah. We can't say no days off, but but we definitely have only missed a few episodes, and it's been a lot of fun. We've been for something that just started as us like dinking around using Facebook Live.
Really.
I would say we've come a long way. We're now using this fabulous service, Restream, where we look a little bit more professional in how we do our stuff. We've gotten upgrades on our microphones and headsets, and you're still rolling on a crappy computer, but
hey man,
I've upgraded my computer, and we are hoping we're in the process of working with a graphics designer and everything. We're hoping that for next week's episode we can finally unveil an official logo.
Oh yes, we've been rocking the mascots. So thanks, Mike, for that. Those are the mascots. I like them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's been quite a journey.
Yeah, Debbie showing some love with the congrats. Steven showing some love. 1 year.
How time flies.
Now look at you guys. Hearts, wings, and birds in the background. I guess Steven doesn't like our background, so we can switch it up.
Oh, there you go.
We'll put some UFOs or whatever the heck that is.
Hopefully
that's more to your liking, Steven. I'm sorry.
Sci-fi.
Or I guess I can just go super like patriotic. How about that?
Is this waving in the background?
It is on my computer, so I'm hoping the audience is seeing a waving flag. Maybe one of them can confirm that for me. So what do you got, James? What's good in your life? I know that you teased last week. You teased a new job. Yeah. Can you tell us anything more there?
I mean, not a whole lot more. It's just I'll be working at what's the name now? Harry Reid Airport.
Oh.
I will
job
be
at the airport.
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm on. So I turned in my I was last Friday? I don't remember. Basically, oh no, it had to be Friday because Thursday I called my boss and I was like, "Hey man, just so you know, I'm gonna be turning in my 2 weeks notice." And he was like, "Oh, you're quitting?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm resigning, but I got another job with the government, so I'm out."
Okay,
and
so we know that you're starting a new job at an airport and you've gotten a job with the government. So I think our audience is smart enough to put two and two together. I think you've
Yes.
given more than you probably should have.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm just happy to start something new, man. Start a new chapter and um, something that I've been in this process since June.
Yeah, going on 9 months.
Yeah, I after I started the process. Thank you, Tyrus. Appreciate that. Yeah, I started the process right after I came back from or did I start? No, I started right after I came back from seeing my mom in DC. And so because I'd heard that they were looking for people, and so I was like, all right, let me check this out. And so I went in, filled out the first set of applications, took tests, all that stuff, and then it was just waiting. And then I didn't hear from him until what right before Christmas, I think it was a little bit before Christmas. Went in for the official interview, which is actually funny too, because when I went in, there was only two people that were actually dressed professionally. Me and another young woman that was coming in. I don't know, and she left after me, but everybody else was kind of like jeans. I mean, like they looked, nice enough, but not in a professional. Like if you're going in for an interview, at least business casual, not. So that's just a tip. So if you're going in for an interview, make sure you go in uh professionally. Don't go in. I mean, unless the job is something that calls for it. Like I remember when I first went in for my interview with Pepsi, I had a suit. But next time when I went back for the follow-up interview, I went in jeans, but that's only because they had said that I would be, you know, picking, there'd be some kind of test of picking up, lifting and moving and pallet, all that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be doing that. And I don't want to do that in a suit. So
Yeah.
yes. So no ripped acid wash jeans.
No, no.
That's
I
out.
I I believe you'll have a uniform. So
Yeah,
you'll
no, I will have a uniform. So, but like I have, so my last day with Pepsi is going to be on the 12th. So there's a lot of people. I've actually told most of the stores because they've seen me for the better part of the past year, plus, and so some of them are a little sad to see me go, and I'm not, I'm sad to not see those guys ever all the time, but at the same time, new chapters, baby.
yeah. Yeah. And Tyrus does call out that some jobs like Google or Facebook might prefer
Yeah,
jeans and a t-shirt. And yeah, I mean you've got to fill out your audience, right? I mean,
right. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, I think even if you go in, is that even for an interview? Because I think if you go in for an interview, you should at least look professional,
and
or if
you can look
or
professional in
ask.
jeans and a t-shirt.
That's very true. You can call you. I mean, I would even, I'd maybe even call if you got the interview, like, kind of what's standard, like what's
I would disagree with you there. If you're calling and asking that question, that means you're not prepped. That means you haven't done your own due diligence to prepare. And so me as a hiring manager, which but I'll share with the audience, I have sat in on and conducted probably at this point uh, close to 2,000 interviews. I have
dang.
hired hundreds of people over my time, and regardless of where I'm at, if you're calling me and asking those kinds of questions, that's going to be a ding on you. If you need me to tell you what to wear to an interview, uh, that's a bad sign.
Is it really asking, or you're just trying, just like, is that like, are there I mean, is there uniform standards on pages and stuff like that that you can find on all pages?
I'm just going to say this. If you're going to an interview, regardless of where you're interviewing, you should always look professional.
Yeah,
Going
absolutely.
while I don't disagree with Tyrus about some companies wanting to see being okay with jeans and a t-shirt,
You
I
don't want to
don't
make that's not your first impression.
I think if you walk into an interview at Facebook or Google wearing a suit, that's not necessarily going to be a negative. And I agree with what Steven just said right there. And I was just about to say it. I would rather overdress than underdress.
Yeah,
You don't need to come in a tux. You don't need to necessarily come in a full suit with tie, depending on what the job is. But
right.
at the very least, if I was going to interview it at Facebook or Google, and it wasn't for like a high level type position, I would go in a collared shirt, button down, and slacks.
Yeah,
You know,
that's all that needs. I mean, it's not like I'm not saying I went in. Like I it was a suit I hadn't worn yet, so that's kind of also one of the reasons too. But like when I went, that's what I worked for my interview. But yeah, no, there's been interviews where I've gone in and just khakis and a button down t-shirt, no tie, and just a nicer, not like a not a what is it, the jacket, not a sports coat. That's what I was thinking. I was like, man, I blanked on that. Not a sports coat, but just like a nicer jacket, like a leather jacket or something like that, just because it was cold outside or whatever. So you can look professional, just go in, but go in looking professional. Don't do like some of these guys. I don't know. I mean, hey, they might have gotten the job. I don't know. They just might have done really well in the interview. But I know that I left with the packets to go get everything done, drug tests, all that kind of stuff, did all my fingerprint and all that kind of stuff. So that's the thing is like, if I got all that done at that point in time, you know, I think that very well could have helped.
oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, I don't, I don't think, hmm, I don't know that you had to show up in a suit. I think if you
Yeah.
showed up to the interview for this job, if you had shown up in button up and slacks, you probably would have just as well.
Yeah.
Um,
I just, like I said, it was one of those things where, you know what, I was like, you know what, let me make sure I go in, I do it. That's the main thing that I was worried about.
Yeah, and this is just like just about anything else in what we talk about. Know your audience, right? Know the situation.
Yeah.
Um, so overdress helped you pass the drug test, huh? According to Steven.
Nah, that one I just went in. I just for that test, I just went in jeans and a I think it was in a polo or something like that. So
Yes, and not using drugs probably helped James to
that
pass the
also
drug
that
test.
also that also helped. But yeah, no, like we were talking about earlier, like even with Google and Facebook, yeah, like I like definitely it's not like jeans and t-shirt might be what they're wearing now because they're in, but like even like I didn't have to wear when I started with the casinos when I was living with Mark, when I started the casino out there, I didn't have to wear a suit for, but I wore suits like the first almost my first month, close to a month, just so people knew who I was, made sure that I kind of stood out as, a manager. And then, as time went on, I didn't wear the suits. I still wore like slacks and button ups and sometimes ties, just depending on how I was feeling. So,
Yeah, I mean, I work for the state of Nevada, but very often I'm just working in a if I'm not working at home, I'm working in a little cubicle, not interacting with a lot of people. I go in jeans and a like a Dickies shirt very often. If I have to go over to be in front of the state senate or congress or be in front of the governor or I'm meeting with a different agency, then I
suit
go
up.
in and I dress appropriately.
Right.
Um, but just when it's just me doing my job in my cubicle, I go comfortable. And Tyrus is dressing down is more of a fad nowadays. Our generation still does the professional look. However, I was in a suit for VTA, but the guy after me was in jeans and a t-shirt and ended up getting hired too.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like I said, it's not a make or break. I mean, I have interviewed people that came in, slacks and a button up, and I interviewed the next person and they were in jeans and a t-shirt. And yeah, maybe I hired them both, or maybe I only hired the one in jeans and t-shirt. It's not it's not the end all be all, but
Right.
you definitely need to know what you're interviewing for. If you're interviewing to work in a restaurant, yeah, I'd probably be more likely to hire you in jeans and a t-shirt, um, regardless, as long as you have experience and you've got a good personality and all those other things.
Yeah.
Where if you're interviewing to be an administrator or director for a state office with the Nevada state government, you better show up in a suit, because
Yeah.
if not, probably not even going to be considered. You know what I mean?
I feel it. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, yeah, the actually, I'm kind of glad I didn't end up staying there, because I went to, because I had already been working at a place and then I had to re-interview, and so I went in I just went in jeans and a polo, and I didn't end up coming back to that job, which in hindsight I'm actually okay with that. But yeah, no, it's never, it's nothing's ever guaranteed.
No, absolutely not. So something I've been posting a lot lately, I found this app that does face swapping, and it's interesting because we've talked about it before. These deep fake videos that are out there with taking Robert Downey Jr.'s face and putting it on to Doc Brown from Back to the Future, and it looks good. It looks clean, right? And then how that technology was used for Star Wars, Book of Boba Fett with Luke. It's really well done, right? Um, and so I found this app where they do face swapping. You just provide a picture, and if you're on our Facebook page, Instagram, whatever, you'll have seen that some of these things have gotten posted where I've taken James and Mai's face and put us on, Barack Obama and Joe Biden, or on Chucky. Um, the Home Alone Stallone deep fake. I have not seen that. I'm gonna have to go
I
check that out. Tyra said the Chucky
Yeah.
ones were beyond creepy. Yeah,
They were. It was good laugh. Good laugh on that one.
yeah. It's kind of funny to do these, and some of them work and look really good, and others not so much. I mean, I did one of me as The Rock, and there's a couple of them where it looks really good in that whole cutscene, and then there's like one or two where it's like, oh, that doesn't look so good.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, it just all depends, but it's amazing that they're able to just take a simple photo of me just like this and then do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Clearly I don't know technology well enough to be able to make that kind of stuff.
But yeah, it's it was the Biden Kamala.
Oh, yes, where I'm Biden and you're Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, at least the hair is nice though. Looking like a pimp.
Wow.
Looking like a pimp in a power suit.
Wow. Did you I don't know if you saw it. I only put this one up on the Instagram, which was you as Tracy Jordan from 30 Rock.
Tracy Morgan. Yeah,
No,
yeah. No,
no, the character is Tracy Jordan when he's got his shirt
oh.
up and he's like playing with his belly.
I only saw like a little clip of it. It didn't like, was it just a couple, it wasn't like a full
No,
couple seconds.
it was just a quick
It was
gif.
just like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's what, okay. Then I was like, something wrong with this one? Did I? So I reloaded it a couple times and then
Well,
like
yeah,
it
the
dis
something wrong is I put your face on it. So
wow.
uh
That's something I would have done. Or I think I've probably done that multiple times before, so it's not a big deal.
Oh yeah, all we need to do is get you like a paper towel roll and get some mimosas in you, and that can be entertaining. Uh,
Good times.
so so some fun facts to make you feel old thinking about Disneyland. So for an example, when the Carousel of Progress premiered, uh, for those of you that have seen the Carousel of Progress at Disneyland, or it is now at Walt Disney World, the first scene uh, is set in the late 1890s, which when Disneyland first opened, that would have been about 65 years in the past. So when you think about it, if they were to release that same attraction now and use the same premise or so, the first room would be about when Disneyland first opened. So the first room would be approximately the mid 50s.
Yeah.
It's interesting conceptually. Same thing like Main Street, right? So when Disneyland first opened, Main Street was modeled after the early 1900s. If you were to model Main Street today off of the same time gap,
Time period.
then Main Street would be modeled off of approximately the 60s or 70s.
Wouldn't want that.
Right?
Would not want that.
When It's a Small World first opened, the United States did not recognize China as a sovereign nation. There were two Germanys, an East and a West, and there was no Russia at the time. So just kind of interesting. Debbie's calling out. Have you already talked about Toontown? What's going in that space? Toontown's not going anywhere. Toontown is going to still be there. They have shut Toontown down. They're remodeling it. So there's going to be a lot of changes happening in Toontown. There's going to be a large open, almost park picnic type area for families to enjoy.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that'll be fun. They're also adding in Mickey Minnie's Runaway Train or whatever it's called. That's already
the same attraction that they have at Disney World, right?
Yeah, from my understanding, there'll be some slight differences, but yeah, that will be there. I've heard that Gadget's Go Coaster might go away, but then I've heard it might just be repurposed. So we'll see. But Toontown is not going away. It will still be there. It just will be different. It's getting a facelift. Is one of the ways I've seen it described as.
Steven's back on the turkey. Listen, Steven, I'm gonna tell you right now. If we go to Disneyland again, you better be there. That's all I'm saying. You better be there.
So I give me just a moment. I'm pulling up a photo. I'm trying to of the new. Let me just go to the Disney Resort page. Here we go. We'll pull this up. Boom. All right. So this is from the Disneyland blog page. And this is talking about transformation coming to Mickey's Toontown in 2023. And as you can see there, that's kind of the new looking Mickey.
Gross.
So this is kind of the larger. Let's see if I can zoom this in. And here we go. Too far. There we go. That's about as big as I can make it. So for those of you that are watching, you do have the fortunate ability to see what we're seeing. But right now, for those of you that are listening, I'll try to do my best with my words to describe. So this image that we're looking at is the new proposed Toontown with the play area. And you can still see there's the coaster in the background. There's still Donald's house, Goofy's house. It's just there's this large section that has been cleaned up. It looks like Chippendale's treehouse perhaps is being moved more forward into the land.
A lot more trees.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more greenery. It's going to be my understanding is going to be a little bit more. It's going to feel a little bit more tight, but it's going to, like I said, it's ultimately a facelift to really update it.
It looks like the Acme factory is still back over there, which is nice.
Yeah. So here's another image from a new fountain, and again, a picnic type area where families can go to, I guess, sit and relax on grass. Maybe. I guess we'll see how that actually fleshes out. But
turf.
And Steven, moving along with that turkey leg. First of all, it's Mark with a K. Nice try. But he does say he won't buy you a turkey leg. So,
Oh.
Steven, I had to. It was the only way he was going to eat it. He kept making
Oh.
excuses. I don't know what his issue was. He just kept copping out. So
Back on this again. All right.
I forced the issue by buying it. So would I do it again? I don't know. But that appears to be the only images that they really have on the new Toontown. So Debbie, that is what is going on there.
We'll have to see if the oh, sorry. Sounds like garbage.
Garbage truck.
Garbage is coming. But no,
and to those of you watching and listening, this is what we mean. Interact with us. If you bring up something that we want to talk about, we'll take the time. We'll shift gears. So
Yeah.
Debbie brought it up. Let's talk about it. Why not?
Yeah, no doubt. And then oh yeah, sorry, hold on.
There's a children's song that we listen to quite often because I've got a little one, and it's about a garbage truck rolling down the street, picking up your trash. Garbage truck. Yeah. So
adorable. Yeah, they're probably gonna be back soon. So, anyways, but yeah. Oh, bruh. Last week it was so windy in Vegas.
how windy was it?
Our garbage cans rolled away.
I have seen that happen up here. I had it happen once where not here in Reno, but when I was down in Minden, when after trash pickup, I'm hoping this was an empty trash can.
Yeah, this is empty trash cans.
Okay. So yes, I have.
But there was people, like, some of them were blowing over the smaller trash cans. They were blowing, like, they blew over, and not a lot of garbage, but some garbage fell out of the cans, and I was like, come on now.
Interesting. And really quickly, speaking of Toontown, I would love to see Disney bring back Toontown, the game, the online multi-massive role-playing game that existed for a while. I just had to throw that out there because I very much enjoyed it. I think it would be cool to bring that back, but it's probably never going to happen. So speaking about Disney, speaking about Disney parks, stuff like that. James, I was thinking, so we had discussed possibly going to Disney World next year.
Right.
I just wanted to put this out there and see what your feeling is. I was almost thinking, what about a cruise?
What kind of cruise?
I don't know, to Alaska, to Mexico, but doing a Disney cruise. Because we both have been.
Wait, do they have the Disney cruises for Alaska now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because we both have been to Disney World, right?
Yeah.
We both have been to Disneyland.
Right.
We've done just about everything there is to do Disney in the US, except for.
I have done the Disney cruise.
But I have not.
Right. I did the one in in Florida, though, the Bahamas one.
Yes.
So that would be, I would actually enjoy doing like an Alaskan cruise. That'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, it's definitely something I think we should discuss and think about. Tyrus references, I must know Coco Melon theme. I don't know the Coco Melon theme, but I will tell you that I do know the Coco Melon song about going to use the bathroom. We're dealing with potty training lately, and yeah, there's a Coco Melon potty training song, so I know that one pretty well.
Have you heard the heavy metal version of Surface Pressure from Encanto? Wow.
I have not, Debbie. I have not heard this song. I guess we will have to check that out after the show.
Yeah.
Tyra says that Disney cruises are extremely overpriced and on older ships. So I don't know. Maybe it won't be a Disney cruise. Maybe it'll be something else. But it is something that I was thinking about kicking around, is maybe instead of Disney World next year, maybe we do a cruise and save Disney World for a couple more years. But I don't know.
I'd be okay with that. I would definitely be okay with that. There was at one point in time I was actually looking at a cruise to Hawaii, but it was also a 13-day cruise.
Yes, and majority of those are one way. It's either to
No,
Hawaii or
this was back. That's why it was 13 days. It was actually it left from San Francisco, went down to or was it, yeah, no, left from San Francisco, went down to Mexico, and then it's 3 days on the water, and then pretty much each day you get to an island, and then pretty much you have a day at each island. At night, it sails to the next island, and then you have a day on that island and going through the islands, and then it's 3 days back. You go to Mexico and then back up to San Francisco.
Interesting.
It was 13 days, and that's why I was looking at it. It actually wasn't bad price. I don't remember the price now, but that was also years ago. And people were like, I was like, yo, does anybody want to do this? And they were like, nah, that's almost too long. And I was like, yeah, but it could be fun. And then basically they were like, somebody was like, you do realize it's going to be just like a bunch of old people on that ship. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Because people who are retired got that time.
James, I hate to break it to you, but you're getting to be old, bro. Next year when we go on this cruise, you will be 40.
Yeah, I understand that. But what I'm saying is that before that, it was this was, like I said, this was a number of years ago.
Uh-huh. But now you're the old single guy.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
That's right, ladies. He's single.
I didn't already know.
Yes, but our audience doesn't. So maybe, folks, if you know anyone,
we had a show. We had an entire show of me on dating websites.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you know anyone in the Las Vegas metropolitan area, James needs to find a lady. Please help him. He's pushing 40, and he's got his own place. That's something. I mean, his brother's there, but he's got his own place.
Yeah. Well,
so yes, we need a James dating episode. I absolutely agree, Stephen.
we
should do it. We should do a dating episode where we find 3 young contestants, 3 young ladies to come on, or old ladies at this point for you, to where you get to ask them questions, and then at the end you pick one to go on a date with.
We're playing the dating game.
Yeah, kind of. I could be like Chuck Woolery, 2 and 2.
Back in 2 and 2, yeah. Love connection.
So yeah, I think this is a good stopping point for your sake.
Yes, please. My God, thank you.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about today?
Nah, man. Just let's hope. Again, I've said this the past couple of weeks, but let's hope that some cooler heads can prevail in the situation on the other side of the world at this point. I'm luckily, you know what? I'm happy that we have kind of stayed. We've stayed out of it militarily. I mean, we've thrown the sanctions and everything. So, but no, I'm really glad that we've found other ways to work in this one. So, hopefully that will stand, and hopefully again, Putin will cool his jets.
Hopefully. And that's right, folks. Next week, 1 year anniversary of Fat and Black Connection. We'll find some special stuff to discuss. We'll look back on the last year, different topics that we've covered, and see where things have come since then. So yeah, be here next week for that 1 year anniversary. Hopefully we'll have a new logo to unveil to y'all.
Oh man, that'd be exciting. That'd be really exciting to have.
But it's been real. It's been fun. But for your sake, especially with this ending, it has not been real fun.
Yeah. Hey, make sure we get that code too, so we can put that on our page.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, guys.
All right.